3 more low-key red flags in women. Number 1, when you're hanging out with her phone is always like this. Reason 1, they're being polite and they're not trying to be distracted by their phone, but if it's someone who actively checks their phone, but otherwise it's down like this, she likely doesn't want you to see the notification screen. Why would that be? Well, likely she has some notifications coming from dating apps or text messages that are probably from some other dudes. Number 2, she really enjoys nightlife. Look, it's not a problem if from time to time you guys go out together, you dance together, she dances with her friends, but if every weekend she's going out with her friends and not with you, it's probably because she enjoys being in this environment where she's being approached and noticed and seen by other men. Number 3, she does not have a good relationship with her family. Some people don't have amazing support from their family, and that's no fault of their own, but these people tend to have a bit more trauma that they carry with them from when they're younger, and some people work through that and become much stronger because of it, but a lot of people, they're still dealing with that trauma. It doesn't mean she's a bad person, but she may not be in the best place mentally to be in a relationship.
All right, ladies, I might ruffle some feathers with this one, but here are 4 major red flags that all men notice in women. Let's go. Number 1, non-reciprocal energy. You hear a lot of women in the dating market saying when the right man comes along, you will not have to try. And although it's true that you won't have to try too hard, there's a difference between not trying too hard and not trying at all. You don't have to be thirsty. You don't have to come off desperate, but no man wants to be pursuing a woman that they feel is not giving them the same kind of energy in return. Number 2, unrealistic financial expectations. Somewhere in the modern dating market, we have communicated to women that it is totally acceptable to expect a man to pay for their hair or their nails for a first date, or to even go as far as to ask a man they barely even know to help them with their bills. Feeling entitled to lavish treatment or financial assistance from a man that you barely even know that's still trying to get to know you is an extremely unrealistic expectation. And social media has done a really bad job of making modern women think that that behavior is normal. Let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting a man who's financially solid, but no man wants to feel like they're your walking ATM. Number 3, immaturity and uncontrolled emotions. Immaturity, uncontrolled emotions, acting crazy, all of that has been rebranded recently as being toxic. And there are a lot of social media channels out there that actually glamorize being toxic and encourage women to engage in this kind of behavior. When good men get a sense of that behavior, you lashing out, blocking their number, cursing them out, they either just stop taking you seriously from that point forward, or they don't tolerate it altogether, because you're coming across to him more so like a child who's throwing a temper tantrum than you are a woman who wants to be taken seriously as an adult. Number 4, probably the most controversial one of all, being too masculine. A lot of women will shy away from being feminine now because of the negative connotation that's associated with that in modern society. Whether you like it or not, the reality is that men like feminine women. Now, this is the part in the story where a lot of women will say, well, it takes the right man to bring out that feminine energy. Although I do think that there are some points of that are true, overall, I don't really agree with that. I think that as a woman, you either embrace your feminine energy and you walk in that, or you just haven't tapped into it. There are so many women in the modern dating market who have hardened themselves to steal because of the negative experiences that they've had with men. Blocking your feminine energy is often a defense mechanism for a lot of women so that they don't get hurt in the future. But don't let the experiences of the past turn you bitter. The reality is, ladies, that there are 2 sides to every coin. And if we're going to talk about the bad traits of men, we also have to acknowledge and take accountability for the bad traits we have in ourselves.
Red flag number 2, that she is not girlfriend material. You notice you're in competition with a bunch of other dudes in her life already giving her attention. Exes, guy friends, work husbands. And a girl only does this sort of thing for 2 reasons. First is she is still hung up on her ex and she will be comparing the 2 of you throughout the entirety of your relationship. Or 2, she enjoys the attention of all these guys so much that she will never be satisfied with just your attention. Either way, steer clear of her, because you being her boyfriend will never be enough for her no matter what you do.
These are 3 low-key red flags in women.
Number 1, she fails to thank you or show you any type of gratitude. If you're hanging out with a girl and you notice that she never says thank you when you pay for the bill, or just to say that she appreciates you, you gotta move on. She's not gonna change, and then you're gonna end up resenting her.
Number 2, she has male friends. Aside from some very rare scenarios, when a guy and a girl are talking, it is not platonic, and even if she's not interested in him, he's probably interested in her, and then she likes having that validation. The point is, if a girl has male friends that she regularly sees or even just texts texts with, that's the type of girl who's always gonna have one foot out the door in a relationship.
Number 3, she manipulates you in small ways.
If you've already hung out with a girl a few times and she's still down to keep hanging out, but she will literally never text you first, she's low-key trying to force and maintain this dynamic where you're the one who's gonna be chasing her forever.
When she uses the line, guys I've seen in the past would never do that. She's making you feel bad for whatever boundary you're trying to set with her by talking about guys she's seen in the past.
She's trying to force you to be jealous.
Okay, dudes, you have to listen up for this one. I'm about to give you the best dating advice TikTok has ever seen. Today, we're discussing the top 8 red flags in a woman. And just a fair warning, I may have some of these, or all of them. Number 1, you're her only friend. Here's the problem. It is so great that she thinks so highly of you, but it is going to be an issue absolutely every time you want to see your friends. You're going to lose all of your you time, and it could possibly be a very drawn-out breakup. She gives you the entire breakdown of her last relationship on the first date. She's not over him. She doesn't listen to your side during a disagreement. She honestly just doesn't find your input valuable or of any importance. She shuts down whenever there's a problem. It's really hard for these kind of people to change. You better have some patience, my guy. Any statement along the lines of, you should be really lucky to have a girl like me. You're both of equal value in this relationship. There should be no power struggle. Consistent efforts to keep you away from your family. The need for constant reassurance. Look, I have definitely been this girl, but I can promise you it will never work until somebody is fully happy with themselves. And lastly, completely unwilling to at least learn about or take any part in any of your interests.
3 red flags when dating a woman. 1. She posts thirst traps on social media. Those are for likes and other men, not you. 2. She doesn't respect your boundaries. Remember, when someone doesn't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you. 3. If she's extremely clingy, needy, and attention-seeking, it's a huge red flag. For example, if she texts you all day long and expects you to answer right away and gets angry and sad if you don't, run. This means she's probably very emotionally unstable, and she'll end up suffocating you.
Boys, I'm about to give you the best advice TikTok has ever seen. Because you're an amazing man and deserve nothing but the best. Without further ado, here are 10 dating red flags in a woman you should never ignore even if she's hot. If you spot your significant other doing any of these, trust me dude, it's not you, it's her. Biggest red flag, if she's ever cheated on you, get the hell out of there. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Next, she snoops through your shit and doesn't trust you. Now, have you given her a reason not to trust you? If yes, then that's on you, not her. But if you haven't said anything wrong and she's still insecure, red flag. She's rude to her parents, family, servers, or people in general, warning sign. She's lazy, doesn't work, doesn't have a job, and expects you to pay for everything. She's only got guy friends. She's a drama queen and makes a big deal out of dumb shit. Oh my god, you just mentioned another girl? Are you kidding me? You're her only friend. Trust me, it's gonna be a big issue when you want to go out and hang out with your friends. She always plays victim. Always blames you and never owns up to her mistakes. Makes you feel guilty and apologize for things you never did. Statement along the line of, you should feel lucky because you have a girl like me. Guys both should be equal value in the relationship. Tries to keep you away from your family. Lastly, needs constant reassurance. He's not ready for a long-term relationship. He knows more than 10, but hit the plus for more. Bye guys.
If the woman you're seeing is doing any of these things, it's a major red flag that you cannot ignore. And number 1, she never initiates contact. If she really liked you, if she really wanted you, she would initiate contact. She would be the one asking you to hang out. She'd be the one texting. If you're the one always calling, you're the one always texting, you are chasing her, and that's a major red flag. Number 2 is she never free to hang out with you. You've been trying to see her for months, weeks. She always flakes on you, or something always comes up. You get the classical text, please don't hate me. There's a good chance she's not fully interested in you, and this probably not a girl you should be dealing with long term. So put in the comments, what are your thoughts?
Men, here are the top behaviors for you to look out for if you think you're dating a narcissistic woman, okay? So consider these your early red flags. Number one, this woman is going to be extremely competitive. It doesn't matter whether it's her family, whether it's her friend, whether it's you, even children if she has any, okay? This woman is going to compete about everything, finances, beauty, intellect, whatever matters to her to get that external validation. Number two is that she's going to be overly concerned about her appearance. I'm talking about plastic surgeries, fillers, makeup, whatever it is. She will not leave the house without wearing makeup and without dressing up, and she's going to do the same to you. You guys will have to maybe match, look perfect together. She's going to do that same thing to her family, friends, children if she has any. Now, this is not something that guarantees that this is a narcissist, but this is a huge red flag, okay? This is toxic if the person cannot leave the house without looking perfect, because this over concern about appearance is not healthy. Next red flag is that this woman's going to be extremely jealous, and she's going to think that everyone is jealous of her, okay? You're going to be able to notice this because she will always talk about how others are jealous of her, and she's going to talk about the same stuff with her friends. So it's going to be very, very noticeable because this woman truly believes it and she lives for that external validation only. The next red flag and behavior that you can actually test yourself is the fact that this woman is going to be overly sensitive, hypersensitive to any sort of criticism. So if you just go ahead and try to give her some maybe constructive feedback about something, you'll see how she reacts, and that is going to be a huge red flag for you to see if she cannot handle any criticism at all. One I've talked about before is the sexuality, right? The promiscuity. So a woman's going to be overly inappropriately sexual and promiscuous, and she's going to flirt with everyone around her because it's all about the attention, even the people that she doesn't like. So you can spot this early on, depending on how she dresses, how she talks to you, how sexual she is with you from the get-go. This is an early red flag that you can spot. It doesn't guarantee that this is a narcissist. It could be a borderline woman as well. However, this is a very, very high probability. If she needs to be that center of attention and very sexual, could be a narcissist that you're dating. The next one you can look out for is how she is with money, okay? Is she overspending all the time? Is she spending only on superficial stuff like her clothes, maybe cars, jewelry, makeup? This woman is going to spend money, hers and yours, and she's going to surround herself with people that have money so that she can also manipulate them into spending money on her. This is how bad it is. So from the start, take a look at it and see her spending habits, okay? What is she spending on? What is she prioritizing? Because she will milk you dry. These women only attached to supply that they can milk financially, especially. Last but not least, it's the boundaries, okay? Look out for how she's respecting your boundaries. Is she already showing up to your house unattended? Is she already not even knocking on the door and just walking in? Is she going through your phone? Look out for those boundaries and communicate them to her. And she, if she's a narcissist, will not respect those boundaries no matter how many times you communicate them to her, okay? She will always forget or find an excuse or start a fight or gaslight you or whatever it is. These people cannot respect boundaries. Now, this is a list of those early behaviors. Of course, if you're dating somebody who's a covert narcissistic woman, these will not be just like this because you're going to be dealing with somebody who's going to have that vulnerable side to them, right? Well, they will appear vulnerable, and they will have hidden signs of all of these behaviors, okay? Remember, covert narcissists they lack that charm, they lack that social skill, they lack that charisma, so they're always the victim. These behaviors are for more of a classical, grandiose narcissistic woman, okay? Look out for these. I will be posting much more detailed content on this on my YouTube channel, link to which you can find up in my bio.
What's your biggest red flag in a girl?
Biggest red flag in a girl.
So here's two red flags that y'all need to look out for that people don't really talk about. One, you need to see how this woman argues. And two, you need to see how she responds when she's drunk. And I don't mean she had a shot in a White Claw. I mean, she's drank a lot. As far as the arguing goes, it's unfortunate to say, but some of these women didn't come from a healthy upbringing, healthy family, or they don't have healthy relationships in the past. So how they resolved issues isn't about like growing and understanding and resolving issues. It's very much like a battle about who's right. And they can get kind of aggressive, you know. This woman's 5'2" and she's fucking adorable, but she's quick to throw hands, throw objects, or say the worst shit to you in the fucking world that you can't recover from. And you gotta understand that's a massive red flag. The drinking, you can get a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation going real fucking quick. Again, this woman's sweet, adorable. You like her, she's great, but she has too much to drink and is like a completely different person. You may be surprised to find out, like, damn, she has a few drinks in her system and she's flirting with all these dudes. You know, she's drunk and she tries to jump out of my car. She fucking runs off. She's crying in the corner. You're like, holy shit, I didn't know any of this. So these are things that you need to see before you hop in a relationship with her.